Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Worldwide Technology Raceway, or also known as Gateway, here for the Legacy Sportsman Truck Series, here brought to you by TH Designs. Hello, my name is Christian Ogata, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here at Gateway / Worldwide Technology. Week 7 here for the Sportsman Legacy Truck Series, and really exciting. Obviously had a shortened race there at Portland, as we only had a kind of a qualifying round there, and they gave out the points there. So we're back here for, it seems like, our last race here for the Sportsman Legacy Truck Series here for week 7. Unfortunately, some unfortunate set of circumstances made it to where this might be our last broadcast. Hopefully we can get some more funding for this series. I really do enjoy calling the races here for Crown Jewel and everybody involved. But just like that, we have a little just right on the dot, 8 minutes left of practice. And we'll go ahead and take a look at your fastest drivers on track currently. First on the board right now, this number 88, Tyler Bellinger. So always showing speed here in the Legacy Sportsman Legacy Truck Series. And once again showing speed here at the short track here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Lee Hamby, we've known him to be quick really anywhere we go. Remember, knocked out back-to-back wins. And then obviously, he made a joke in the Discord saying, due to Portland being cut short, didn't get the pole, which means he technically didn't get the win there, or at least winning points. So technically that win streak broken, as he actually goes fastest on the board right here, 35.32 versus Tyler Bellinger's 3.8. Ryan Taft back there in P3 with the 35.5. Pretty decent lap for him. Corey Mott, the boss man, making some laps out there in that X-Side machine. Sitting back there, P4, Ted Lisby in the 44. Common sight to see him here in the Legacy Sportsman Truck Series, sitting back there and rounding out the top 5 in practice currently. Jim Mott in that Bush Apple machine back there in P6. Jonathan Ledger and his Dodge Mopar machine back there in P7. And Bob Baker in that FedEx machine running out your drivers right now in practice. See Lee right there. New scheme, that Alpine HendrickCars.com machine. He's got DC on the side there. DC, that's a throwback. Yeah, I remember back in school, DC was a popular shoe brand back when I was like in younger grade school. That's a throwback right there, seeing DC on a car. I haven't really seen DC on anything in a little bit, so that'll be interesting to see that scheme through these laps. But 5 minutes left here, and a little over 5 minutes left in practice, and I know we got one truck out on the track here. Let's go ahead and ride with Corey Mott. We'll take you around the lap here at Gateway. Down here. It's a little bit of a wider turn, a little bit more. I feel like you can push a little bit more in that corner in the 1 and 2. You watch out for this out there in the wall. If you see some elbows getting put out there, I've seen a lot of cars get shoved out there. Down here in the 3 and 4, a lot more of a narrow turn. And you're going to see a lot of trucks just try to wrap this apron here. Got to get a good exit out, not to get too loose. Like you see Corey there actually got a little bit loose, had to walk it up the track. Across the stripe there, we'll take another lap here with this 99. See Corey just really trying to get down there to the bottom and trying to keep the truck as steady as he can. Going back out of 4, across the line. And that's a lap here. A couple laps around Gateway. We're doing a good job teaching us where we want to go. How you want to take this place. And these trucks are not the easiest to drive for you. You already see Corey get a little upset there. We'll go back up here to Lee, who is currently your fastest on the track. if Lee's gonna show you how to do it. I mean, Lee might have found, maybe a different lane that some of these guys haven't figured out how to run. Corey right now, P4 with a 35.6 best time versus a 35.3 for Ambi. So good 3/10 or so, which is, for a short track is, I would say, quite a bit of time. Lee has found just a little bit more pace out of the truck here, at least on like a solo lap. I just think right now you've seen Lee just kind of drive it down in the corner a little bit harder than Corey is. He might be getting on the gas a little bit earlier and being able to keep the truck straight off the corner. That's going to be a big thing, is being aggressive on the exit here and being able to keep the truck underneath you. Because if you can continue to push the exit here, especially out of 2 and out of 4, it's going to really help get some lap time out of this truck. But here with these short tracks, we've seen before and time again that you can't really push these trucks as hard as you want. You probably would see, and maybe the new truck or maybe like the Gen 6 car, the Gen 4 and this Legacy truck, which the Crown Jewel guys here are running the kind of these Legacy series. You really have to be careful with that right rear. You cannot burn it up because, especially here in this truck, once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get it back. And you just kind of around to try to, you're going to have to baby it around, and once you lose it all here. And that's not something you want to happen. Lead. Also going down pit road, this is something that's also going to be a big talking point here. You're at Gateway, there isn't like you don't just go right out of 4 to get down pit road. You actually start coming down pit road down into turn 3. You have to use that access road to get down there. And it's going to be interesting to see what how these drivers take it, how aggressive they're going to be down there. If you cook it too hard there, with the grass there, if you get into that grass, that car is not going to want to slow down and to get down in the pace speed or just to keep it on, on that little off portion. And it's gonna make it hard, right? Do you be safe and maybe lose a little bit of time entering pit road, or do you try to be aggressive and know that if you push it too hard, you're gonna either maybe spin out there or maybe get into the grass and maybe jeopardize yourself getting down pit road? And I'm not sure how unsafe pit entry works here. I don't know if you get into the grass, it'll automatically get you or not, but it's going to be definitely interesting. We see now no one on track, and you can actually see that pit entrance lane. Potentially, if
do you guys have any interest in running this race with 8 people, or do we not want to sit here for 2 hours and race?
As we heard some race control comms right there. As they're asking, unfortunately only 8 people showed up for tonight's race, and with practice getting underneath us there, go ahead and mute the Discord audio just in case Corey comes down and decides to call the race early once again here at Gateway. We'll wait on confirmation to see if we're actually going to start quali here. It looks like at least Jim Mott's going to come out on track. If anything, we might do a similar thing to what we did last week, where we'll qualify and take the top qualifiers. Well, sorry to inform everybody back at home, but once again, we're gonna have to call it short once again here from Gateway. Fortunately, only 8 people showed up, and it wasn't enough for people to wanna run the amount of laps here, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles here. Obviously, these trucks are and we'll see. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I understand that the trucks are hard to drive, and you know, I had the comms on in the background while we watched Jim run a couple laps, and the trucks are hard to drive, and I'm unsure why there's just a lack of interest in the series after a break. I know I heard Corey talk about that. There's going to be some evaluating to do, and trying to figure out what's going on here, but it is unfortunate to say we're gonna have to call it short once again. But we didn't even get qualifying this time, so I wish we could even show you guys like your starting order or like a qualifying or something. But unfortunately, that is just not the case. Um, it is what it is, I guess. But I guess you guys have seen what was supposed to be a production of the Sportsman Legacy Truck Series, brought to you by Teach Designs here at Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race, and um, I'm unsure whether we're going to be back here for uh, the truck series. Not because I don't want to be here, obviously, but uh, our sponsor, TH Designs, decided not to continue to pour money into the broadcast. So right now, they just don't have the funds to keep a broadcast going. But despite that, I've been a part of this Crown Jewel community for a long time. Back before he was even called Crown Jewel, these people gave me my first opportunities to ever uh, call races here on the sim and as a broadcaster. And I'm super grateful for all the opportunities that have been given to me before this network got started up, and even now that HVTV's been a thing and all that stuff, right? I mean, we called their DRS truck series for a little bit before that got discontinued. We called the pre-version of this Sportsman Legacy Truck Series with the modern trucks, and then obviously we called the first 7 races here for the Legacy Sportsman Truck Series. We've called a couple of the Team Conti Cup Series races as well. I know there's a couple we called. I think it was a preseason race at Auto Club, and we also called their Watkins Glen race, which really did well on the channel. So despite that, I appreciate everything that Crown Jewel has done for me in my broadcasting career, for the network here, for High Velocity TV. Obviously, they have in-house broadcasting that they could have easily gone to, and they chose us for their broadcaster choice here for at least the truck series side of things. And I'm super grateful for the opportunities and everything else. But unfortunately, some things go on, some things have to end, and I'm super hopeful that we can come back and have a better relationship here with the Crown Jewel guys. But you know, broadcast costs money, running a league costs money, and unfortunately, with no sponsorship, it makes it really hard for a league of this proportion to continue to fund every series to have a professional looking broadcast. So once again, I appreciate everybody for coming out and at least trying to watch the broadcast. I appreciate all the Crown Jewel guys for everything they do, giving me a home, giving HVTV a home here with their truck series, giving me a home before I even started broadcasting in their booth. I raced in their Cup Series for a little bit. I raced in their Truck Series for a little bit. Trying to work my way up through the ranks here in the Crown Jewel community when it comes to being a racer. So a great group of guys. If you guys are ever interested in racing in a good competitive league, I recommend, whether it's here in the Truck Series, whether it's in the Gen 4 League, whether it's in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series. I know they just had an IndyCar League that just got finished up. Really great group of guys, and a really great community to be a part of. But I really don't have anything else to say. Fortunately, no, not another race here. If you look close enough on this blimp cam, you can see the pace truck doing laps by himself. But we're gonna call it a night from here at Gateway. Once again, I appreciate everybody for coming out, watching the broadcast. If you guys would just hit a thumbs up or just hit a thumbs up, you don't have to share it, obviously, if there's not gonna be a race, but I'd appreciate the thumbs up and just the support. If you want to share the broadcast, if you want us to share the YouTube channel, the broadcast network, I'd very, very, very much appreciate it. We're a very young and growing network and just trying to get on our feet and trying to get a well-established couple leagues under our belt to continue to improve and get some guys under our feet. So, but besides that, guys, once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. And we'll be seeing you on Thursday for the Prestige Cup Series, and then on Friday for the AWC Pro Series. Once again, I hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we'll be signing off here from Central Kansas and HVTV Studios. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. We'll see you soon.